G'day everyone, I'm Ben from 30 Foot Drop, here to do another commentary video. And today I'm talking about an article that came across my desk published by Forbes on their online. We will include the link in the description. So, this title, I love it, okay. And in fact, the entire article, I absolutely love it. I thought it's so well written and he's done such a good job. The title is called, How Do Disabled People Feel About Discussing Their Disabilities? Great title. It is so pertinent at any time. As a person with a disability myself, I find that there are definitely times that I feel very uncomfortable about discussing my disability. But we'll get into that later when we have a look at a bit further down. This article is written by Andrew Pulrang in Forbes there. I've read quite a few of his articles before. I really enjoy them. His take on things is really good and his viewpoints are really valid. I really recommend giving him a follow if you can. Really good at it. So let's go through some of the things that are said in here. I've actually gone ahead and made a list of quotes from this article that I absolutely love, and I want to discuss them a little bit, okay? So the first one is this. So for some people with disabilities, talking about our disabilities is really complicated. Sometimes when people ask the perennial questions, or just look at us in that certain way, you can almost hear them say, go on, do that thing where you remind me how my own little problems aren't so bad. Do that inspiration thing that makes us feel so much better about admiring you. I totally get what he's talking about. This happens all the time where, I don't know, people ask me how I had my accident and, or what my story is. And you can see it in their eyes that they just want to hear it because they think that by feeling bad for you, they can feel better about themselves. And it really, really sucks. Yeah, and then the author goes on to goes on to actually talk about this next part, which is, while few of us like to admit it, many of us do in fact crave sympathy or at least empathy. Getting a positive, supportive response to our disability stories can be validating. It can, at least in the short term, compensate for some of the negativity and unvarnished prejudice that we encounter regularly. And it's so true. Having people take an empathetic or sympathetic interest in yourself can help you feel better, but only in the short term. Really interesting. Like, I really love the way this guy's putting it. He's really articulated so many things that I feel myself, because sometimes the day's just really bad. And then being able to tell people that can make me feel better in the short term, for sure. All right, next bit that I loved. Finally, some of us choose to embrace being spokespeople of sort for the disability community and the cause of disability rights and justice. Some people commit themselves to advocacy, motivational speaking, writing and educating the public, all of which call for some degree or another of personal sharing. These commitments can give purpose to a person's life. If purpose is missing or uncertain, especially, it can give meaning to a person's disability if meaning is important for them. For us, it's also a living and a potentially useful one. Look, this is me through and through. This is what I do as a job, okay? My disability awareness, this is how I make a living. And telling my story is a massive part of that. It's hard, What a lot of people don't realise is that telling your story as an advocate, telling your story as a speaker is actually really emotionally draining, especially if it has a lot of trauma in it, like mine does. And I don't think people get that. This is me and my life we're talking about, my fuck-ups. Wow, this guy's really nailing it right on the head. Here we go. Another problem is that many of us quickly come to realise how easily the visibility we craved for so long, and we finally seem to be getting, can be misused, no matter how carefully we craft our messages. As any person with a disability who has addressed a political audience can attest, you never know just how much of your specific message gets through and how much is drowned in a sea of sentimental responses to our very presence. Do audiences come away with a new understanding of healthcare or home care accessibility? Or do they leave feeling uplifted or amazed at how articulate the disabled speaker was, or how brave they were for getting up on stage? Yeah. No, it's so true. I have good workshops and bad workshops. Good workshops, I come away knowing that the message has gotten across and change happens. The bad workshops, I come away going, well, I suppose at least they feel better about themselves. For some reason, disability, instead of being listened to for our content, we are used as objects to be sympathised, to be impressed by. We're valued by the way we look or the way we make you feel, not for the knowledge we have. All right, next quote that I love. Disabled people are often expected to share our stories and enlighten others on disability matters, as if it's our unique duty and special mission in life as people with disabilities. This is the thing though. A calling is a personal choice. A duty is more of an imposition. A lot of people don't understand the difference. On a personal level, a friendly curiosity about our disabilities can quickly turn to sour resentment when we don't immediately satisfy it. Okay, so, yeah. And demanding to be educated is often used as a put up or shut up answer to being called out for accessibility failures, other types of ableism. Basically, if we don't agree to open ourselves up at all times and give free education, then ongoing ableism is implied to be our fault. Wow, powerful stuff. Jeepers. Yeah, that's so good. And it's so true. There is that expectation. Now, I have taken that expectation and rolled with it, and I use it to my advantage now as part of my business. So, that's really good. But I can see that for others who feel like they have to share it, that it's a duty to. It's an imposition. Wow, yeah. And the thing is, there is this expectation when people contact me here at 30 Foot Drop to give my workshops and education and my intellectual property away for free, because I should be grateful that somebody's taking the interest of trying to reduce their ableistic viewpoints or make things more accessible. I should be grateful and over the moon, ecstatic that you have deigned to want to know more about this subject. Fuck off. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, ringing up a lawyer and asking for free advice. It's not going to happen. Oh, this sentence. I can relate to this so hard. At any moment, we could be prayed over in the fast food aisle, asked in a coffee shop how we have sex, or grilled in the lunchroom on disability terminology that we use. Booyah! So true. Oh God, the number of times that I have been prayed over, whether I want to or not. I remember one time, and this was in the middle of a CBD, this person came up and started praying over me, and when I told them to stop and to go away because I don't want them to do it, they were genuinely surprised that I would even object to it. Come on. Yeah, and I love how he finishes it off. It's great. In the end, sorting the good from the bad, the appropriate from the burdensome, isn't that complicated after all. It's a bit like intimacy and consent. Talking about disability with people with disability can be enormously rewarding for both parties, but only when the person with a disability is a willing participant, and that's the key point, a willing participant. While some of us unconsciously choose to be as open and forthcoming as possible, none of us feels that way all of the time. Okay? We are human like everybody else. We have days where we don't want to talk about this stuff, and you know what? You need to respect that. Okay? And his last sentence, above all, no disabled person should ever feel obligated to share or shamed for not sharing. Okay? Our stories are very personal to ourselves. They are us. We are those stories. And it would be like shaming somebody who has had a traumatic experience, say a sexual assault, okay? And then shaming that person for not being willing to share it with a stranger. Same thing. So, look, overall, love this article. Give it a read, guys. It's brilliant. If you've enjoyed my little commentary here, please like, rate, subscribe. Follow us on social media. It's 30 Foot Drop. We are everywhere. Thank you very much. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. Catch you next time.